By this, let me quickly start the actual syllabus. First, what is the real world applications? Where you are going to use the quantum technologies? What is the various opportunities we have? However, if you see the sequence of operation, what I mentioned here is like there is circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Where I started in first class or first unit, I started where you are struck out. What is the need of quantum computer? As I mentioned, especially while training data set. If it is a large data set, we get the good accuracy. However, large data sets training for training normally using CPU or GPU take much larger time. That's one of the upcoming technology where you can use the quantum technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the financial modeling, cyber security, digital banks, drug and chemical research, and battery technology, IoT, NLP, and the logistic optimization. See all the applications what I mentioned here, but is purely based on the principles of quantum mechanics, such as superposition, entanglement, and quantum tunneling. These are the techniques which support to solve the real world problems in a parallel manner, unlike classical computers. By this, we define what are the various applications, various domains where you can make use the quantum computing. Let us see some of them in a little bit brief by considering the importance. One of the most promising application in a real world application is drug discovery. As you all have know, what is the importance of drug to save the human life? However, if you see the research in medical domain, day by day you are looking for the new drugs, even though you are calling it as a very developed. We created so much of drugs for various diseases. Still, we are unable to find specific drugs for some of the diseases like cancer. Still, you are facing, even though you are developing in 2025 also, we are unable to find what is the reason for cancer and how to nullify that. But there are so many diseases. This is still unsolvable. But this one coming up on the promising technology, we can look for the complex analysis by making this simulating the complex molecules and the chemical reactions. By verifying this, we can solve the all these which we are facing classical computing, especially while simulating. It is taking a huge amount of time. But see where you are going to use the biomedicine and healthcare around drug discovery and development. Of course, personalized medicine, medical imaging and diagnostics, clinical trials, my healthcare operations. Like if you recall, the medical imaging is concerned, the analysis part by making use the automation and medical imaging. We have a lot of data sets. It takes much time to solve that. If you're able to use that quantum computer for that particular application, it will save a lot of amount of time. You can move forward. Once if you come into picture, you can make use this for the disease identification and prediction also. That is in healthcare point of view. Now see, this is what I discussed, like drug discovery. You can simulate the molecular reactions accurately and you can predict the drug protein binding. However, as I mentioned, because of parallel processing, might reduces time and cost for new medicines. That's what you're looking for. Of course, my personal medicine means based on the person, we can make it for the particular drug for the particular person. As of you see now, the drugs which are available in the market is for all, not for individual. However, you can make in future individual medicine like tailored cancer for cancer treatments. You can improve the medical imaging, especially the accuracy, like early detection of the cancer or skin allergies, whatever it may be. Some of the diseases which are unsolvable today, by using medical imaging, we can go for the early detection also. And clinical trials and healthcare operations, as and today, it's take much time. However, to speed up the drug trials, you can go for the optimize the resource also. And lastly, analyze the analysis of the patient data, predict the diseases. Like that's what you are calling it as a medical, AI ML in medical imaging and medical healthcare. So one of the thing you are looking for the identification of the different diseases, especially as of today you are looking for the early detection. That's purely based on the analysis. As of today, the analysis is taking much time. If you make use the normal classical computers, once if you're able to replace the classical computers with quantum computers, it saves a lot of amount of time and you can look for the new inventions. Now come to what are the contributions of leading companies in advancing in quantum technologies? That means Here I'm going to show you which company working in which field, especially we student of that being youngster. No doubt, as I mentioned, if starting itself is one of the promising area in near future where you can get the a lot of jobs. There are a lot of scope to get the lot of jobs in the area of IT. By keeping in mind, being a student, you should aware which industry working on which area, what they are looking for. See one by one, IBM Quantum might is working on the simulated small molecules like LIH and BH to collaborating with biotech firms. Google Quantum AI simulated basic molecules using synchronous quantum process. But DWave expert the quantum annealing for the molecular optimization. Ultragenyx collaborating with the quantum and Cambridge for the drug design. Like if you cover the protein cure, you use the quantum computers for the protein drug interactions and optimizations. By seeing this, you can observe that what is importance of the quantum computing in the case of healthcare. Healthcare. That's what I'm trying to reach you by showing this slide. That one of the key area is material science. However, if you recall the first and second and third units and fourth unit also, so many times you are calling it as material science. The material which is going to play a vital role and especially building a quantum computers. But sometimes you may feel that the impact of hardware may show the less effect on the overall performance of the system. As if you, as per qubits is concerned, by small amount of variation, used at the end a lot of changes in terms of performance because you are going to use the thousands and you may have to use, I'm not sure, maybe thousands, lakhs, maybe future cores of qubits. At the time, the cumulative of the material effects, the defects in the materials plays the vital role. One aspect. Another aspect is the new materials like superconductors. These are the different materials where you can build a qubits that may be in terms of atomic structure, that may be in terms of photon, and in terms of superconducting qubits, whatever may be. I see this, but this is one of the opportunity to speed up the system and improve the accuracy. You are talking about quantum computing in terms of it is able to help to model the complex atomic interactions and it gives an opportunity to invent new materials by applying modeling techniques. If you recall the quantum technologies, as we need to study while inventing a materials. We need to, if you are aware of the internal structure of the molecules, atoms and particle, if you are able to change the atomic structure or particle position or molecule structure, we can change the properties of the materials. As you all have to know. Here what I want to say is by using quantum computing, we can study the behavior of the atomic structure and particle nature and molecule structure. By changing the structure of a material, we are able to invent, we are able to change the behavior of the matter. That change such a way that what you are looking for, building a new quantum bits like that. See, one of them discover new superconductors, design stronger and lighter alloys. That means better batteries, semiconductors, and catalysts. See, there is a diagram here. One of where you can focus. One is the renewable energy, material design and simulation, carbon capture and management, combination of fluid dynamics, combination of optimization and nuclear energy and waste management. These are various domains where you can focus using the quantum computers to update, to improve the performance in terms of new materials. Then automatically, once if you're able to find the material which is required for us to build a quantum computer, once hardware is ready, then you can make use for any kind of applications. Next one is the another application, logistic and supply optimization. In the case of logistics, by finding the optimal path, by using route optimization, you can reduce the cost and improve the logistics. However, it's also useful to supply management by solving, as I mentioned, complex optimization problems such as inventory management and shipping schedules. However, finding the vehicle routing and rerouting and finding the optimal path, as you know, the cost. If the distance between the source and destination reduces, automatically the overall cost will come down, and overall cost in terms of fuel will come down, and as well as the time taken by the time taken delivery will come down. Let us see what are the benefits of the quantum optimization in logistics. First one, as I mentioned, is cost reduction. Improves the efficiency, as I mentioned, in terms of delivery time and improves supply chain management. However, in business, as you all of you know, one of the key criteria is the end user and customer satisfaction. By applying the quantum mechanic in the case of in the logistic and supply chain optimization domain, we can improve the customer satisfaction. As you all of you know, as a customer, what you are looking for is one of them is the fast. Like Amazon Flipkart will check it. what is the delivery time? It's like 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. If there's some e-commerce website is showing 3 days, some is showing 2 days of delivery, automatically you go move with 2 days. That is what what I mean to say is faster. My other aspect is the reliability. My terms of delivery services, reliable delivery. All this plays the vital role in the case of customer satisfaction. See how can incorporate, how we can incorporate the quantum technologies in the area of logistics, supply chain optimization. See, like first one is the, as far routing is concerned, as I mentioned, can optimize the truck routes. Then if you find the optimal route, like no, if you are going to unknown place, just you are using a Google map, there will find what is shortest path, what is longest path, something, no, like that. If you able to by using the quantum technologies, by once the route to optimize the routes in terms of distance, then automatically the fuel consumption will reduce. Automatically the time will come down. Then one of the key application where you can incorporate the quantum technologies to improve to reduce traveling distance. Come to the inventory management is concerned, it can optimize my inventory levels, reducing the stock outs and overstocking by adopting the AI technologies. And another important schedule, just these are all like automation. There's now no manual interference, like scheduling, my shipping schedules, my reducing the delays, like no, but reducing delays just by proper scheduling, the overall delays will come down. The efficiency, in terms of reliable as well as speed, can also improve them. Yes. Another important area, the quantum sensing and precision timing. As you recall, as today people are keep on talking about the AML, but what is purpose you are going to use that AML, DL, all these things. Ultimately, of course, as you mentioned, the first and second units and third units also. Ultimately, you are looking for the automation. In automation, one of the key element is sensor. Based on the present status, we are able to, the machine will be able to take a decision. Once if the sensor will give the wrong response, of course, machine will automatically take based on sensor output, the system will respond, or the system will respond. That's why the sensor plays the vital role in case of automation. It is one of the powerful application in automation. If you incorporate the quantum technologies by building a sensor by using the quantum mechanics techniques like superposition and entanglement, to build a very sensitive and precise, very sensitive and precise timing sensors. Like for example, you can build ultra sensitive sensors and clocks by using ultra sensitive sensor. That's what I'm telling you, more and more sensitive. That is one of the key parameter while taking a decision, how fast it is respond, how much sensitivity is. However, in addition to sensitivity, we need to balance like precision, as I mentioned, precision, timing, and accuracy. However, it's promising by researchers. The quantum sensors may give the accuracy levels is far and far beyond the classical technologies. However, if you see the definition of the quantum sensing, this is a normal definition of sensing, like measuring a physical properties like anything, like magnetic, electric field, and magnetic gravity, temperature, and with extreme precision, unlike classical technologies which are using as of now, where you can incorporate the quantum mechanics properties like superposition, entanglement, etc. As I mentioned, the major limitations of the classical sensors is one of them is low sensitivity. That means it is able to sense. It is not able to sense. It is not able to sense weak signals. And moreover, they may lose the accuracy over time. However, the quantum sensor is the quantum states, like in atoms or photons or what may be, to detect the very teeny variations that use the ultra sensitivity. But some of them are detecting brain activity. As in today we are using MRI scan, you may expect there's more higher precise than MRI. Locating the underground water and the minerals or oil. Of course, already these different types of like sensors are available as of now. That is based on the classical computers. No doubt about it. It's not new, but what we are doing is we are developing a new sensing technique, new sensing materials or new sensing approaches for same application, like as I mentioned, underground water and minerals, etc. And submarine navigating without GPS. Like how depth you can incorporate. Like if you see the real world applications, as I mentioned, detecting. One of the medical application what you are looking for as of today, early detection. You can predict you are going to get a heart attack within a span of 4 or 5 months. You are going to get a BP, you are going to get a diabetic. That's what you are pre-diabetic and something. No, that are already the patients to come up with a solution with. That's one of the upcoming technologies, the early detection of any diseases that may not be cancer. Detect early detection of diabetic also one of the important area where you can focus. And navigation is concerned, as I mentioned, submarines, aircraft navigation, where GPS fails, you can make use this. Geology, discovering minerals, oils, and underground water. There is specific limitation we have that may up to we can search up to certain distance. In the case of defense, we are able to detect the hidden objects or submarines with great accuracy. That is very very important in the case of defense. That is one of the key criteria. One of the high that should be the sensing technique sensors which are going to use for defense applications. That should be very high sensitivity, high precision, and high accuracy. Because once if it is fails, the whole country may affect. Unlike normal applications, defense applications should be very clear. That should have a very accurate measurement in terms of accuracy. That should have good precision. That should have high accuracy. However, in addition to all of them, there should be good stability also. But there are some of the criteria we need to find selecting a suitable sensor for a particular application. However, as on today also, all the sensors are available. That is classical sensors for applications. What I mentioned here. Just you are trying to replace this conventional sensors with quantum sensors. That's it. My remaining application point of view parameters are same. Let us see what is my precision timing. As I keep on talking about precision, but they will use in action. But see the accuracy. They use only 1 second in millions of years. That clocks, GPS navigation, telecommunication, stock market, and would fail. Where you can make use the atomic clocks provides accurate location of tracking, banking and finance, time stamping, and transactions for security. In the area of telecommunication, must synchronize data transfer across networks, space, and there may be huge loss in financial. Now let us see, as I mentioned, as a student, you should aware of which industry is focusing in which aspect. Based on that, you may prepare or you may develop your skill sets to get a job in different companies, different industries. But as per syllabus given by your JNTU, here I try to explore some of the companies to implement. Some companies are using superconducting. Some companies are conducting ion, like in the case of normal electronics. As per switch is concerned, some application they are using as a diode switch. Some companies they are using transistor BJT switch. Some applications or some companies they are working on the companies are using various. There is a loss of internet connection. Just I will share. Just can anyone share? Anyone respond? Whether is my PPT is visible? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for disturbance. Just very. IBM is concerned. They are going to develop a cloud-based quantum platform. Focusing on safe cryptography and drug discovery. However, quantum as a service, to researchers as well as companies. Come to the Google is concerned. If you recall the history of quantum computers in the third unit, there I mentioned, in 2019 itself, Google claimed that is a SimCare processor, which is able to solve a critical problem in 200 seconds. Even the supercomputer needs 1,000 years. Just imagine by seeing this example, once the quantum computer into market, once it is commercialized, where you are, how your future will be, how our lifestyle will be. There is a tremendous change. One of the milestone in the area of quantum computers. Come to the application point of view, of course. There is a huge number of applications, not unlimited. However, I mentioned some of the applications here. As I keep on talking about once it is speed of the system goes up automatically, the AI application takes and machine learning techniques will place the vital role, especially prediction. See, if you recall the past 1 week experience, like in Nellore, like cyclone effect, the weather report is saying that last week, Nellore is going to affect by the huge flood effect. That's why the collector government has declared holidays. Yeah, you know what happened? After declaring the holiday, what is the scenario? What is the weather report? What is the weather status in Nellore? I think all of you might be experienced. Being a youngster, you may have to think of that. That is one of the great failure as on today. Still, we are unable to predict weather status as on today. Not only weather, like earthquakes. Any other variations, we are unable to predict. We are guessing. I think best of knowledge last 20 years. So many times the expectations are alerts given by the weather stations is not proven like anything. I think it's maybe around 30 to 40%. Not, more than that. Best of knowledge. Just think of it due to sudden change in the weather conditions. That's why government is taking care about the alerting the people. That means the Tufan is coming. The cyclone is coming. You should take something. But however, I think Nellore people we experienced last week. What happened? Nothing happened. Of course, as an town is concerned, we got 2 days holiday, 2 or 3 days holidays, something like that. What I mean to say is, once if you able to incorporate the quantum technologies by taking huge amount of previous data in the case of weather, we can develop a model where the prediction levels may increase like anything. As in today, best of knowledge, my experience is concerned, it seems to be only 40%, maybe hardly 50%. I think not more than that. Sorry, I'm not claiming my personal experience, but last 20 years, what I remember. Now, one of the key area where need to focus because you're losing huge amount of human beings because of unpredictable conditions, especially earthquake is concerned. Now, cloud bursting is concerned, like cyclones is concerned. You're getting huge loss financially as well as loss of human being. By seeing that, you can predict how beauty you're getting once if you're able to incorporate quantum computing, the simulation, and this one. Then come to Microsoft is concerned. This is working on the topological qubits that is stable and resistance. Azure quantum cloud service for the access to quantum computing. They claimed the program language for quantum algorithms. And the PSA quantum is concerned, looking for build a 1 million qubit fault tolerant computer. 1 million, just imagine that. We recall the vision and reality in the case of third unit, still you are working in hundreds of qubits. We are unable to cope up with hundreds of qubits. Whereas the PCI quantum looking for the 1 millions of qubit quantum computer. They're going to use that photonic qubits. As you know, one of the beauty of the photonic qubits are it will work on room temperature. As per application is concerned, of course, all things you came across like drug discovery, material science, or finance, and logistics. However, incorporating a new technology into the society, we need to think other aspects also. Like if you recall the technology used to make a robo, like in a robo movie, if you recall the robo movie, that is one of the best example where the technology should be under control by human being. If not, I think you might be recall that what happened in that robo movie. As on today, we are getting so many complications because of AI, creating a fake movie, fake videos, fake images. That is one of the critical area. One of the real-time applications we can consider. We need to consider while adapting, while incorporating any new technologies. We need to think about what are the ethical considerations and societal considerations and policy considerations. That's what you are facing a problem with the AI. Like as I mentioned, AI cloning. We are doing cloning for the AI technologies. As a human being, as a normal person, we are unable to distinguish which is the genuine photo, which is a genuine video, which is genuine data, which is the not genuine data, we are unable to find. Unless otherwise, if you use the software, we need to check it whether it is a genuine or not genuine, something like that we are supposed to make. In normal sense, you may assume that the data which is generated by the AI seems to be natural. That is one of the challenge you are facing. That is the, of course, one side of the coin. We are able to build new applications by using AI, ML, and DL. On the other hand, means other side of the coin, we're going to face a lot of complications in terms of like cyber security issues and social media issues. How people are facing difficulties, especially celebrities is concerned, morphing of photos, cloning of videos. These are all unethical. That's also one of the big challenge where you can focus. I think you might be aware of that. They are looking for a certain policy where you can use AI, where you cannot use AI. Like that, while adopting that quantum technology in a real world applications, also we need to consider as I mentioned, ethical, societal and policy consideration. Let's have a look on one of them, each and every one. Like ethical considerations concerned, privacy risk due to quantum distribution capabilities and surveillance and misuse, and finding the exact location of this couple of persons that may cause some other aspects. Accountability and transparency, technology development, need for the responsible innovation principles. These are some of the ethicals where you can use, where you cannot use this technology. You should not be part of disturbing the privacy of any human being. You don't have any right. That's what using social media, the people are doing so many unethical things. So many people are losing their privacy because of technology. As misuse is concerned, because we are putting a surveillance for security purpose by taking the data from that, they are also misusing in terms of so many aspects. Similarly, what are the societal difficulties, societal implications? However, potentially fighting of global inequalities. As second point is concerned, impact of workforce and possible job displacement. That's what you are facing today because of AI. As you're getting so many news, we are observing that so many people are losing their jobs because of AI. Like that, the quantum technology may impact on workforce, and there may be a displacement of the job role and role of, and we need to create public awareness and education and ensure that The technology should be equitably access and benefits to all the people. Because some people are using the technology, the people may dominate the other people. Now come to the policy considerations. Consider there should be a certain policy. As you know, putting the video and putting the image of any one person without their consent is a crime. As per IP is concerned in India, there is certain policy and regulations. It's really a crime. Like that, we need to develop a certain policy towards the quantum computing. As I mentioned, now throughout the world, they are looking to make a policy for AI. Like that, we need to work on the policy considerations also, like new regulatory frameworks and quantum computing. My international cooperation agreement to prevent the arms race and preparing a post quantum cryptographic transition. My encourage the transparency and ethical governance. There's a necessary to develop a policy. And if see what is the real status, whether the companies which are working on the quantum computing are working on these are all aspects or not. Like see, IBM, Google, Microsoft efforts on the ethical quantum computing. There is UN discussions and global dialogues on the quantum technology governance, industry practice for the responsible quantum applications. By using a technology is not one aspect. How to use the technology is another matter. The technology should not disturb the human being. As you know, as we are talking about society, society means people. We are developing a system or technology for the sake of people only in terms of society. On the other hand, that should not disturb the people. That means you need to think about the other side of the coin also. These are the key considerations as new technology is coming into picture. Some of the statements you saw, the AI may create so many problems in the near future. I don't know up to what extent is true. As I mentioned, some of the examples like cloning. One of the challenging issue as per cyber security is concerned. So every day you're finding cyber crimes is purely using the cloning, like same DP, same video. These are all cloned technologies. That's why that quantum computing is one of the upcoming and challenge. Promising technology where you can't copy. That means the cloning is not allowed in the case of quantum computers, right? However, as I discussed, what are the advantages? If you recall the 1, 2, 3, 4 chapters, the quantum is going to play a vital role. We need to go through the quantum technologies. And second, what I mentioned, what are the applications, how the quantum computing is going to influence various sectors, what is the impact of quantum technology on a society, everything gone through. However, to adopt technologies, in addition to that ethical, societal and policy matters, in general, we need to consider some of the aspects. Suppose the quantum computers available in the market, assume that. We need to think how many people are going to use that. Let's take an example. Quantum computers in the market, only 10 or 20 people are in India is going to be able to buy that. That won't show any impact on society and development of the country. Like that, what are the challenges we have while adopting a technology that is new technology, what you are calling as quantum technology, as a part of life, as a part of a life, like as a laptop or mobile and computers, these are all part of life. Like that, what are the challenges we have to make use that quantum computer as a part of life? Like first one is the cost. If you recall the vision and reality, what is the cost of the quantum computer is concerned? As on today, that I have only suitable for research grade only. Still yet to work to get a quantum computer in a commercial grade. One of the challenge, if you recall the quantum computer based on the quantum, superconducting circuits and ion trapped qubits, we need to maintain a very, very low temperature. For that, we need to maintain required hardware, required algorithms of that's cryogenic considerations. We need a special hardware. That itself showing that means going up with cost. Cost one of the criteria as on today is concerned is showing. The cost of the maintaining all these things like cryogenic cooling, hardware, it seems to be very, very high. And one of the cost one is, and the second one is as on today, the resources available, like as and also so many people are not using cloud. Up to some extent you are using. If you want to go beyond that, we are supposed to pay. Like that, we need to think of it. What are the resources available and that should be more affordable. Presently, as I mentioned, this overall cost of the quantum computers and all these things is beyond the normal cost, normal cost of the classical computers which are using as on today. That means more and more work is needed to get the commercial grade quantum computers, and we need a skill to make use that. Once hardware is come to the picture, we need to work out what is the skill, talent, and skill, and what is this standardization. high investment in especially quantum hardware infrastructure create significant financial barriers, especially for a smaller organization. As I mentioned, no, how many people are going to buy that product? If it is more expensive, few people will going to go. Like I think in your childhood days, you might have came across how many people have mobile phones. As of today, how many people have mobile phone? On those days, at home, I mean, suppose 5 or 6 persons are there may be 1 or 2 mobile phones available. As of today, every person, I mean, most of them having 2 or 3 mobile phones. Why that happened? Because of the cost reduction. Because of cost reduction. Like that, we need to we need to pay lot of attention by considering all this effect. Right, as I mentioned, no, even the cloud-based quantum services are also expensive. It limits the wider experimentation and usage. Consider one by one. If you see the skill and talent targets, there is a global scarcity of professionals with expertise in quantum physics. Still, there are a lot of jobs are available for skilled people. Same scenario. The IT that classical IT professionals should upgrade themselves towards quantum computing. However, it may take a lot of time as well as cost also, but there is no other way. Once it is a picture, one of the challenges as we are seeing since last 2 years. After coming AI technology into market, so many people are losing their jobs because they are unable to cope up with the present technology like AI. Everyone should upskill. Every industry is instructing their IT professionals to upskill their skills towards the AI. Similar fashion, one of the challenges every IT professional should upgrade themselves, upskill, not upgrades, upskill, towards quantum computing. No doubt, like as of today, that AI, there is a lot of shortage of AI professionals. Once the quantum computing picture, there is a lot of shortage of quantum professionals, and we need to develop a ecosystem. Like no, you need to develop a quantum algorithms for security in terms of performance and practical deployments. However, in addition to skill standardization ecosystem, I mean ecosystem in sense user friendly, as simple as that. In a single word, you can say user friendly. Like in addition to all of them should be, you need to consider other conditions also. Technology challenges such as error correction, qubit stability, as we all discussed in the previous chapters. One of the major challenges is qubit stability. It looks like a soap bubble. Just imagine how sensitive it is. And moreover, one of the challenges is scalability. This, as I mentioned, is like a soap bubble. How to keep it stable as well as how to scale down, but to compatible with real quantum computing applications. These are some of the major challenges we faced. I think we discussed about third unit. Come to the cyber security is concerned. I mean the distribution capabilities. If you apply the quantum distribution capabilities in a normal classical computers using normal GPU or cloud, they're able to crack the present algorithms which are using. That means encryption algorithms like in a payment. Your banking applications and so many secure applications. Like let us say WhatsApp is concerned, nobody can see your WhatsApp messages unless your permission. You can see in your phone only, in your login only. Nobody can see that. That's one of the encryption techniques. But in future, this all the algorithms, yes, the cyber security algorithms, that description capabilities may improve, the cyber crime may increase because the cyber people may crack easily present algorithms which are using for the security purpose. That is one of the upcoming challenge you're going to face. One side of the coin, we are looking for the advanced technologies and fast computers. But whereas in a normal conditions, present technologies may face the one of the big challenge. A big challenge how to create a safe, secure system. Which technology unable to break by using the quantum computing. That is one of the big challenge you are going to face. Then come to what are the emerging career in a quantum. As a student, you must know what type of jobs you are supposed to get in the area of quantum computing. Since being a youngster, like 20 years of old, half of the life is best of knowledge in upcoming. After 10 years, no doubt that the QC is coming to picture. Half of the service, not life, sorry. You may need to have work on the quantum computers. But that's why being a type of getting jobs in quantum computing. What is the rules? First, let us say role is concerned. This is in early stage. But still, they need to develop a different hardwares like design implementation of algorithms for quantum computers. One of the key area where you're going to focus. And however, normal language which are using like C or it is not useful for that. You need to develop a quantum computer language. However, you can make use the by upskilling your knowledge in Python, we can need to improve the proficiency in the quantum programming language like USET or similar, such that we need to understand the quantum algorithms and problem solving and familiar with the classical computing concept, and what are the various ways to catch up with the quantum technologies. Like one way, this is one of the, what I'm using is the keeping in the quantum computing subject in your academic as part of making a compulsory make it academic. That's one way. And other way is there's a lot of resources available in online. You have to look, you have to develop your self-study. You have to look for the self-study, like degrees, computer science or physics or engineering we need, and online courses and certifications in quantum programming, and hands-on experience with quantum simulators and cloud platforms. As well as hardware engineering is concerned, this is all about the software engineers. As well as hardware engineering is concerned, develops and maintain the physical components of quantum computers. As well came across various ways to implement qubits, each approach having its own advantages and disadvantages. Still, yet to decide which approach is best to develop a commercial grade quantum computers. That is the status as of today. That means people who are interested in hardware, having a good physics background, good basis in quantum, quantum mechanics, who are interested to look for the hardware. Sorry, my hardware sector also. Similar as I mentioned, then what are skill sets we need, and what is various ways like BTech, MTech, PhD that will leads getting the more and more knowledge in the area of quantum computing. Right. This is the quantum algorithm researcher. Look for the, as I mentioned, we need to develop a new algorithms for quantum computing. And however, you can, of course, there are some of the role of the algorithm researcher and the quantum application sciences is concerned. It is bridges gap between the quantum technology and industry needs. As I mentioned, we need expertise in chemistry and quantum computing and fundamentals. Again, to get the theory knowledge, we look for the higher degree. And last one is the, of course, I discussed in third unit. What is the educational research landscape in India opportunity for the quantum race? Now we discussed about the various. First unit, last topic, I try to compare with the various countries like China, European Union, and India. Where the what the status of how much budget they are incorporating, actually what they are looking for. A company we just come across. Let us confine to the India is concerned. Now we started into India is lead the global evolution, and this national mission for quantum technologies with budget of 8,000 crores. Focus on the quantum computing and communication and sensing. These are land researchers is IIT, as I mentioned, 4 IS Bangalore and 4 IITs, and of course recently is TAFR, and one of the being a Andhra people in it. Other research institutions coming in Amaravati, which supports all these aspects. This is one of the research areas are quantum algorithms and QPD, and error correction and optimization materials, what we discussed previously. Where you're going to get the opportunities, government and R&D collaborations, education and skill developments, and bridge gap between the industry and academia. We can go with collaborations. We can go with collaborations to share the knowledge in the area of quantum computing. By this, I'm closing this 15th unit. I request all the students look for the importance of that quantum technology and applications, the basic course. In addition to that, we are going to study rest of upcoming 3 courses before completion of your BTech. That is 3-1, 2 subjects, 3-2, and 4-1 is another subject. That's it. Thank you very much for your patience. Once again, thank you. If you have any doubts, you can chat. You can type in chat box. If you don't have any doubts, I will wind up the session. Anyone respond? If you have any doubts, we can discuss. Otherwise, I will close the session. Okay, thank you. By assuming don't have any doubts, I'm closing the session. Thank you.